So, have you ever wondered what really separates the world's most effective people from, well, everyone else? It's not always about talent or resources or even just pure luck. Nope. It's something deeper, a very specific way of thinking. And today, we're going to dive into what's called the 2% mindset. Here's the thing, if you actually look at who's getting stuff done, like really done, you start to see this pattern. It turns out only a tiny, tiny fraction, we're talking about 2%, are the ones who consistently get these incredible results. They're the people launching the business, writing the book, mastering that new skill, while pretty much everyone else is kind of stuck on the starting line, just thinking about it. So, what is their secret, right? I mean, how do they operate so differently that they can turn these huge, ambitious goals into actual reality over and over again? Well, that's the big question, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack right now. All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the mystery itself. Then, we're going to tackle the huge divide between thinking and actually doing. After that, we'll break down the key pillars of this mindset, talk about how you can join them, and finally, we'll get to your very first step. Okay, first up, the 2% mystery. And look, it's super important to get this straight right away. This is not some magical gift you're born with, not at all. It's more like a code that can be figured out and, way more importantly, can be learned. So let's start cracking it. All right, and this is the absolute heart of it. The single biggest difference, the fundamental divide between the 98% and the 2%, it's not what they think. It's their relationship to thinking versus their relationship to executing. You can think of it like they're running on two totally different operating systems. On one side, you've got the 98%. We'll call them the thinkers. They get completely stuck in analysis paralysis, right? They're always waiting for the perfect plan, totally afraid of making a mistake. But then you have the 2%, the executors. They just start with a good enough plan. Their whole focus is on taking action and this is so, so important, they see mistakes not as failures, but just as valuable data. So, okay, let's put a clear definition on this thing. The 2% mindset is basically a framework. It's a choice. It's about prioritizing execution over just thinking about it, action over endless analysis, and this is a big one, progress over perfection. So, what's this framework actually built on? Well, it really comes down to two core principles, two main pillars. And once you see them, you'll start noticing them everywhere, and you can start building them for yourself. Okay, pillar number one, and this is probably the most important one, a powerful bias for action. This is like the default setting for the 2%. When they're faced with a choice, wait and think more, or just do something, they almost always choose to do. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, it means they value speed over being absolutely certain about everything. They get this really profound truth that clarity doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing, from engaging with a problem. And they beat that feeling of being overwhelmed by asking a super simple question. What's the next smallest step I can take? Not the whole plan, just the next tiny step. All right, pillar number two is just as critical, and it's this. They actually embrace imperfection. See, while most people see perfection as the ultimate goal, the 2% see perfection as the enemy. It's the thing that stops you from ever getting started. And honestly, this is a total game changer. It means you launch the good enough version. You put it out there, you understand that version 1 is a million times better than version none. And every little setback, every bug or piece of criticism, that's not failure. No way. It's just feedback, fuel for making version 2 even better. Okay, so we get the mindset, we get the pillars. Now for the part that really matters. How do you actually join them? How do you make that shift from being a thinker to an executor? Let's get super practical. Here are three simple but crazy powerful things you can do. Number one, shrink the first step. I mean, make it so tiny it's almost impossible not to do it. You want to write a book? Just write one sentence. That's it. Number two, set a start by date. Don't worry about the finish line yet. Just commit to when you'll begin. Say, Tuesday at 9 a.m., I'm starting. It shifts your focus to something you can actually control. And third, act first, research later. Seriously, just get started and let your actual experience tell you what you need to learn next. All right, we've covered a ton of ground here. But honestly, none of it means a thing without this last part, which is all about what you do next. I love this quote because it just says it all, doesn't it? The distance between dreams and reality is called action. Every single great achievement, every dream that became real, had to cross that one bridge, and that bridge is action. That's it. That's the whole secret. Look, this isn't about some massive personality change overnight. It's just about taking one single step in a new direction. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is the first ridiculously small action you are going to take today?